Hello guys, welcome to Hatch Split Economics. Hatch Split, and it's your girl Connie, and I am focusing on the money series. New year, new you, new money in that wallet. Okay, so I know you guys have seen my channel. You see what it's about: economic empowerment, financial freedom, women of color. And again, if you haven't heard me before, please like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe button right at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget to hit a notification bell to get notifications. And the reason why I'm doing this money series, I got so much responses, messages, flames, praise about the college thing. So I want to make this very clear for everyone who's listening. My page is about financial freedom, economic empowerment, meaning that you don't have to go to work for someone. You can do what you want to do. You can be financially free. This is talking about building generational wealth. This is talking about building a legacy for your family, for your children, about planning for your children's legacy. This is what this is about. And having a college degree will not get you there. Before I even go into the video, what you guys have to understand is that colleges, at the most part, are private industries that makes billions of dollars. It's even hard to research college profits. Did you know that? I've been trying to research for y'all, spending a lot of my personal time because this is how passionate I am. And when I came up on it, I was like, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to see the finances? Why is it so hard for me to get a breakdown of where the money goes? Because that's the real wealth that's disappearing from our fingertips. And I'm trying to tell people of color, particularly, especially women of color, who are in the job market, who are becoming entrepreneurs, who are getting their education, getting a degree. I'm letting them know the path to economic freedom, to economic empowerment, financial freedom, is not a college degree. We keep hearing stories and people say, oh, it's a rarity. It's not a rarity. Right now, if you are black or white, whatever race you want to be, right? The stock market is booming. The stock market is doing fabulous. The rallies, you have Apple and Facebook and all these companies doing very, very solid. I want you to write in these comments if any of you have been getting money from the stock market. If any of you listen to this video has been getting some type of bounce back, some type of improvement, even if it's modestly, in your financial gains because of the great performance, the great rally of the stock market. Probably not. And just so you know, all the world's wealth is in the stock market. It's being traded on some level, and the majority of Americans are not there. Why didn't college get you there? Why didn't your degree get you there? Really? If investing is the pulse of American economic power, how come we're not being taught that? And I'm not saying a clerical definition in a book. I'm talking about learning how to master investing, learning how to read the Dow Jones, learning how to know what derivatives and capital gains and when to invest, learning how to actually become financially secure at the least by investing, because investing is paramount to wealth, whether you like it or not. And diversify your investing. You just can't have a house. And newsflash, if you live in your house, that's not a real investment. An investment accrues money over time. If you're just living in a house and paying off a mortgage, eventually you will be paying more than you bought the house. You are accruing debt. You have to make sure your investments are truly investing in your finances and flipping and turning it around. So what do I have for us today? Thank you for listening. I have this guy here. This is an article from CNBC News, and this high school dropout has invested in Bitcoin at $12 and is a millionaire at 18. Okay, so I want to read this again. This high school dropout has invested in Bitcoin at $12 and now is a millionaire at 18. Okay, so the guy's name here is Eric Finman. Began investing in Bitcoin in 2011 when it was just $12 per token. Through selling companies and other investments, he has now 403 Bitcoins worth more than $1 million. So we're going to play this video for you really quick. All right. This high school, okay. I'm going to rewind it there for you because the screen go mad fast. All right, it says this high school dropout who invested in Bitcoin at $12 is now a millionaire at 18. Eric Finman began investing in Bitcoin in 2011 when it was just $12 for a single Bitcoin. Eric Finman now owns 403 Bitcoins, which is the current 2,700 a coin. All right, so he owns 403 Bitcoins, which is the current is 2,700 a coin. And he puts his Bitcoin evaluation at $1.9 million, which some analysts argue that Bitcoin can be very volatile. But Finman says its best days are still ahead. So let me just tell you about the critics of Bitcoin. For some of you who don't know, I'll be doing some Bitcoin series for us so we can learn about finances. Okay, economics. That's what I'm here for. And the reason why you're going to see a lot of institutions cower in fear is because cryptocurrency is the future. You don't have to go through the bureaucracy of a bank. You don't have to carry physical money, and it's actually safe. People say, oh my God, you can get stolen. Actually, all money is digital. There's not that much paper money in circulation. The majority of money, cash, rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Okay, that was for Cheryl. Cheryl, I'm rapping for you. I know you like when I rap. My freestyle is off the hook. But anyway, I know what y'all saying, like, oh my God, cryptocurrency. But if you look what's happening, we walk around with debit cards. We walk around, we walk around with actual tech money now. And a lot of places encourage this. We have the app on the Apple phone, which you can scan your card in, use your card to check out. We are moving to a cryptocurrency, period. But the difference with this, it's not tied to banks. It's all private. There's no bureaucracy. There's no legalities like the banks. And the banks are scared. They're shaking in their boots because banks need your money to invest in the stock market. That's what banks do. A lot of people don't realize. Why do you think your banks want your savings and loans? Because they can take that money, multiply it times 10. By law, you're allowed to only have 10% on deposit. You can loan out 10 times what you have on deposit. So you only need 10% on deposit, what you're actually loaning out, which is crazy. That's why there's a run on the bank. There'll be no money. So anyway, not to get too far off the subject, cryptocurrency is here to stay. There's absolutely no reason for it to go away. It's been here for a while. We're going into the future, and this is what's going to happen. So if you need to invest in something, diversify your portfolio. I always say, if you have a $500, $1,000, I would definitely say to invest it. You're not going to die. If it's your last $500,000, probably don't do that. But all investments are a risk, and this risk paid off. This guy's doing amazing. Okay, so let me continue playing. The young millionaire estimates that Bitcoin is going to be worth a couple hundred thousands to $1 million a coin a day. The bottom line is, 18-year-old becomes a Bitcoin millionaire. And you see him reading there. This is what I want to say to my people of color. And I mean this with love. One of the things that makes my head spin like a 360 is like that. What gets me mad is so many times when I tell people of color, you don't need to go to college. Where am I going to learn? What do you mean? The learning system is antiquated in contrast to the information that's out there. I'm going to say it again. The learning system is antiquated in contrast to what is out there. So you have this young boy who I do not believe has superpowers. He's not an X-Men. He's not a mutant. He's a regular young boy who was just very savvy. And you might say, oh my gosh, listen, when I was younger, I could do stuff for my parents couldn't do. Now my nephew can sit at my TV and my iPad and my Apple and my nephew who's a little nephew, he could do more for me on my computers than I ever could. So the children are becoming more and more advanced. And like I said, the purpose of this page is financial freedom, economic empowerment. If you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, go right ahead. But if you're interested like me in financial freedom, if you're interested like me in gaining economic superiority, to be able to control your future, to not have to worry about being fired, let go. A lot of Americans don't know that United States is an at-will state, meaning that you can have the best job in the world. They can fire you for any reason at any time, whenever they like it, as long as it's not a protected status reason by the EEOC or the Labor Department, discrimination and retaliation, all that good stuff. But they can walk up to you legally without any issue. You don't need to have a warning. You don't need to be written up. That's all best practices. But your boss can walk up to you tomorrow and say, you're fired with no warning, no nothing. So that's what I'm talking about here. This 18-year-old guy. So Eric Finman made a bet with his parents that if he turned 18 and was a millionaire, they wouldn't force him to go to college. Thanks to his savvy investments in Bitcoin and the current all-time high value, he won't have to get his degree. I can proudly say I made it, and I'm not going to college, Finman said. He currently owns 403 Bitcoins, which at the current is $2,700 a coin, puts his Bitcoin value at $1.9 million. But this is how smart he is. He also has smaller investments in other cryptocurrencies, including Litecoin and Ethereum. So he's diversifying his portfolio, even at that level. This is why the rich makes money. Bitcoin is very volatile, and the value could decline rapidly. A technical analyst told CNBC he believes Bitcoin will only go up to 2,800, which is completely wrong. Bitcoin's already rallying at 18,000, so this article is a bit dated. All right. Finman thinks the best days are ahead, and he's correct. This article let me see when it's from, because they're behind. This article is June 2017. And already, if you've been following Bitcoin has been up $18,000 this past week at the last rally. So this guy is a genius. He knows what he's doing. He turned $1,000 into $100,000. So let's listen to this. Finman began investing in Bitcoin in May 2011 at the age of 12, thanks to a $1,000 gift from his grandmother and a tip from his brother Scott. Though he's close with his family, which he calls the Elon Musk version of the Kardashians, growing up in a small town in Idaho outside of Coeur d'Alene wasn't easy. Finman was especially frustrated with high school teachers and begged his parents to let him drop out at 15. So this is a guy that's, he's all about self-learning and self-preservation, which a lot of African Americans have problems adjusting to. We truly feel insecure stepping out of the box and embracing our own intellect. I try to say this all the time. High school was pretty low quality, he said. I had these teachers that were all kind of negative. One teacher told me to drop out and work at McDonald's because that was all I would amount to for the rest of my life. I guess I did the dropout part. Surprisingly, his parents, who met pursuing their PhD at Stanford, agreed. Finman sold his first Bitcoin investment at the end of 2013 when they were valued at $1,200 apiece. With the $100,000, Finman launched an online education company called Botangle in early 2014 that will allow frustrated students like him to find teachers over video chat. He also used the funds to move to Silicon Valley, did some fun things like meet Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, Serena's man, and traveled. I really like Colombia, he said. It was fun, but a little sketchy. Some interesting stuff happened. I was held up at gunpoint, which is pretty scary, but I have this emergency button program, a program in Android that puts you on speaker, but turns off automatically and dials locals. Maybe I'll turn into an app one day. So this guy is super, super intelligent. It was hard getting people to take up a 15-year-old tech entrepreneur seriously, Finman admitted. He recalled being called into an interview with a really, really high up unnamed Uber executive who, instead of listening to Botangle pitch, discouraged him and told him he would never win the bet with his parents. Eventually, he found a buyer for Botangle technology in January 2015. The investor offered either $100,000 or 300 Bitcoin, which was dropped in value at the time to a little more than $200 Bitcoin. He took the lower cash value Bitcoin deal because he believed it was the next big thing. My parents asked, why don't you take more cash? Finman explained, but I thought of it more of an investment. So I never got my GED, and I don't see the value in it, Finman said. The purpose of that would be to get another education level and a job. I had to learn through running a business. Instead of writing essays for English class, I had to write emails to important people. I'm going to say it again. He never got his GED, and I don't see the value in it, Finman said. The purpose of that would be to get another education level and get a job. I had to learn through running a business instead of writing essays for English class. I had to write emails to important people. So I'm going to stop it right there. Do you see his train of thought? This is why I made this channel. Guys, I'm an Ivy League grad. I have a bachelor's. I spent a big bulk. And the turnaround for me a couple of years ago is when I hit the black ceiling, when I hit the onyx ceiling, when I hit the smoky tinted ceiling. And I knew that I was so talented, so intelligent, and I could not get past a certain level. There was no networking for me. And a lot of Americans are going to hear this and say, if she's making six figures, she's fine. Or if she's making six figures, she's rich. I am not rich, okay? But then I started to say to myself, how can I maximize my wealth? What can I do? So I started taking some of my money I was already earning and investing it into other business, becoming an entrepreneur, doing things on the side and hustling, then taking some of that money and investing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm making double my core salary. I don't want to talk about my finances. I don't want anybody to find me and kill me, but I'm making much more than what I would have been making, and I'm much more secure. I can lose my core HR director job and go to bed with my hot cocoa and my big 20-pound cat, Gigi, meow, and not have to worry because I have diversified my talents, diversified my portfolio, and diversified my investments. And I got so excited. I was like, holy crap, I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything spectacular. I have to let people know. And when I did my research, I saw there were so many African American women entering the education market. I saw that we were the highest educated segment in American society. And I was like, okay, I'm reading all this news. I'm getting all this news about Black women in Forbes being the top entrepreneur, about Black women being 66% of all bachelors and 60% of all, masters and 70% of all PhDs in the Black community. I'm reading about Black women in the news being the top spender and actually contributing to the, what is it now? 21 point, what is it? Our spending power is in the trillions. I said it is time that we know, especially Black women know, the money we're spending, we can invest. The money we're spending, we can diversify. We can truly grow our economics. And by that, we can do so much more to affect our social life, so much more to affect our health, so much more to affect generational wealth, so much more to affect our legacy and truly leave a legacy for our children and get out of that mind frame that you're working for now. And I'm going to tell you something very interesting. I'm going to say for the next video. I actually interviewed a couple of wealthy people, very wealthy people. I was able to contact them on LinkedIn and do a live chat. I was very fortunate to get this information that I want to share with you. And if you get the information that I'm going to share with you in the next video, you're going to see why these people become rich, their frame of thinking. And it's very simple. They told me it's the 3 F's. And I shared this with one of my friends. It's the 3 F's of success. The 3 F's. So I'm going to say this to you now. I'm about to wrap up this video, but I just want to add this right here. Although the rest of his family has degrees, his brother Scott went to Johns Hopkins at 16 and now has an enterprise software company, while his other brother Ross went to Carnegie Mellon at 16 for robotics and now is pursuing his PhD. He's happy he's learning the world from real experience. This is what he said about education. The way the education system is structured, I wouldn't recommend it, Finman said. It doesn't work for anyone. I would recommend the internet, which is all free. You can learn a million times more for YouTube and Wikipedia. So this is the word of a millionaire at 18. And some of you, when you hear this, just like I did, when I first started going into this, I rejected the idea that you can be successful without college, especially being African American. I was like, oh, hell no. This cannot be possible. Oh, hell no. But when I did my research, I had to give in. It was person after person, millionaire after millionaire, billionaire after billionaire. I couldn't keep saying, oh, it's a rarity, it's a rarity. It was not a rarity. It was an occurrence that was happening much more than we're aware of. They just don't know about it. Did you know about this story? Of course not. And there's many more stories like this. And that's what Hatch Split Economics is about. We talk about social awareness. We talk about financial and economic awareness and everything that affects us as a people. So I'm glad you're hearing this. I hope this motivates you to do your own research. Check the description box. I'm going to put the story in there. And as always, like and subscribe. Thank you for listening to Hatch Split Economics. Have a great day, guys.